Hey there, and welcome to today's workout. Today we're going to be doing 3 rounds, 8 exercises total, and we're going to be using, of course, our beloved elliptical equipment. So we're going to be incorporating resistance training with cardiovascular training. These have multiple scientifically proven positive effects on our bodies, on our minds, and on our ability to continue to exercise, self-regulatory skills, and all of those things. So we're going to incorporate both. We're going to do lunge pose, leg extension, the loop band, hip extension, and the flat back torso twist to start. And then we'll switch to round 2 and do 3 sets of the clock lunges, the standing horizontal row, and the flat band shoulder absorption. And then we'll do for round number 3, after doing our elliptical machine at the beginning of each round, we're going to do exercise number 7, which is the kneeling twist pocket touch. And then we'll do an anchored bridge hip flexion. All right. And these are all exercises that we've done. I know they're big words. Some of them are lengthy. You can name the exercises any way you want, basically. I always like to customize my own exercises, my own names for them. I won't get into those too much, I would confuse you, but in any case, we'll start out here with our lunge pose. We'll start from a lunge or semi-lunge pose position. Even if it's not a deep lunge, we want that lead foot to have all the weight on the heel, and then we transfer the weight to the ball of the foot, and then we flex the calf. We flex the foot up and we propel ourselves upwards. Now, if you can't go all the way up in the air, we can at least elevate ourselves to where we're reducing the weight on our foot, right? And then we reset. So we're doing 10 of each. We're going to do 3 sets total. So we'll burn ourselves, and we'll burn these muscles out quickly with the first 3 exercises that we do, okay? So we go straight from there to the hip extension with the loop bands. Now, it's a hip extension, but we do have hip flexion going on as well in order to reset. And the resistance band produces a lot of force, a lot of resistance. And so this is going to be a great core exercise, mainly for the glutes, the bottom, the butt. If we're eating properly, all right? If we're getting our recommended daily allowance for vegetables, fruits, and we're minimizing the bull crap that we tend to eat and drink daily, if we could do those 2 to 3 days a week, man, you set up some kind of thing that you can do where you're depriving yourself, man. We call this fasting, all right? Fasting is a good thing to clear your mind. Fasting is a good thing when you're in the zone to do something and you need a couple hours to be able to laser focus. The last thing we want to do is worry about the things that we're addicted to, which are sugar and carbs and all that other stuff. We need to learn to focus on the tasks at hand, right? And that includes exercising. That includes, daily chores that we have around the house. The things that we wanted to do for ourselves to improve our quality of life. These are the things that we can do, some of the strategies we can use with eating. And then these exercises help tone your muscles. They increase the size of your muscles. And then if we eat properly, we reduce the amount of fat around the muscles and they become toned, okay? Now, if we're able to do high intensity on the elliptical, for example, if we do high intensity for our cardiovascular training during this workout, we are engaging our beta oxidation. We're forcing our body to use fat as a source of energy. So we're targeting fat to be burned, okay? Beta oxidation. All right, so exercise 3 here, we have our torso twist. We can keep our legs straight, or we can bend the knees and basically make the exercise either more intense or difficult or less. Right, and we can also change where our shoulders are rotated here. They can be internally rotated or externally, and as you're trying to maintain your base, you are working different muscles depending on which direction your shoulders are rotated, either internally or externally. Keep that in mind for that exercise. All right, and so this is where we get ready for round number 2. All right, so we just did our elliptical machine for our second time, and then we get straight into clock lunges. All right, we want to make sure we stay squared up. I'm not going to say too much about this exercise. We just want to make sure on the diagonal, in the side, in the front diagonal, and all the way to the front, we stay squared up. Even though in the diagonal we're slightly off balance, we are maintaining our balance. We are finding a way to activate those muscles responsible to fire whenever we find ourselves off balance. Life is full of imbalance. We seek balance. We seek equilibrium. Your muscles, your organs, your brain, everything, blood pressure, heart rate, temperature of the body, it all seeks equilibrium and balance, all right? Right, and then we'll move into the standing horizontal row. So we are pulling basically horizontal. Now there's an angle we're pulling down, and I purposely did that. We can set up and anchor the resistance band at any height that we choose to do, depending on what we're trying to target. All right, I want the downward motion in this case. We do a lot of vertical rows. This is more of a horizontal row, and we're going to be working the rhomboids, which are responsible for the back and the shoulder blades. So we're retracting the shoulder blades. We're flexing the elbow, which is a bicep curl. All right, the rear deltoids, the trapezius. We want to stay in an upright position, keeping our legs slightly bent. All right, and then we move off and grab our flat band. And from here we do our shoulder absorption, okay? Now we want tension, just like so. Tension, rotate, reduce tension. Increase, rotate, reduce. Increase, rotate, reduce. All we're doing is creating different angles at which we engage different muscles in the shoulder, okay? From different angles, different range of motions. We want to neuromuscularly engage those muscles. Let's say, for example, when I say absorption, let's say you are reaching up top in your closet for something and it's heavy, all right? And it slips and falls off of the surface, and you have to absorb that impact. You have to absorb that momentum that's created from the force of that, the weight, right? And so some people, and I've seen this on a few occasions where people in that instant hurt their rotator cuff or something like that, and it's simply from not activating those muscles regularly. We should do those. And so the flat band exercise is perfect for activating those muscles and strengthening them over time. There will be future videos where I'll incorporate the flat band in not only resistance exercise but stretching as well, okay? When we're warming up, we're neuromuscularly activating, or warming up as we say. I like to use the neuromuscular word because when we don't use muscles, the junctions where the nerve meets the muscle becomes inactive. All right, it basically becomes obsolete. We don't use them, and these become mechanisms for injury in the future. All right, now we have demonstrated this exercise before. We have our bridge. All right, it's an anchored bridge, so we're anchoring the resistance band on the ground level this time. The last time we did this, we anchored it around knee height. This is from the ground. It's from a different angle. All right, we're going to change the angles up. This is what it's all about. It doesn't mean overwhelming yourself in the gym with a massive amount of weight. That's not what it's about at this point. All right, so we're just going to switch it up as quickly as we can. Now, we generally want to maintain the integrity of our apparatus. So, for example, while I'm adjusting here, my back pad kind of blew away. We want to make sure we secure our items. If I need that thing, I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing, get up, and chase it down. Thankfully, I didn't. All right. We want to fully extend straight and then flex the hip, flex the knee, extend the hip, extend the knee. While we're moving that hip flexion on the left leg, we're also working the right leg, the gluteus, the bottom, all right? It's an isometric workout. So we're going to have our time under tension in between 40 and 50 seconds with that exercise. All right, and then finally, we have our kneeling torso twist, and it's a pocket touch. So we are simulating just touching our back pocket as if we have one. All right, and it's a simple range of motion. I'm taking my neck and my face with my body. And it's very basic. Very basic. It doesn't require too much coordination, but we want to make sure we keep our hips squared to the front. And as we touch in the rear, we can feel those glutes tighten up. And then we repeat sets 2 and 3, and we finish up. Great job.